I'm Andrew Hunter, and I've been going to Revolution since the very start. I guess a little bit more than 3.5 years ago, I probably would never have imagined I'd be sitting in this chair right now answering questions about faith and having faith, and even having comfortable answers to some of the questions that I had at the time. But certainly I would fall into the category of agnostic. I didn't know God, I didn't know anything about God, and quite frankly at the time I didn't want to know much about God. I can remember pretty early on in my college days kind of taking some of the skepticism that I had really fine-tuned during my time in Germany and using it on people that I came into contact with, believers, and basically I would ask the same type of questions that I had been asked myself, and if they couldn't answer me in a way that really satisfied me, I'd basically, basically it would just confirm my own doubts about it. Like, okay, so I don't have an answer, you don't have an answer, so obviously there's no good answers out there. And it just perpetuated my own skepticism and allowed me to continue doing things the way I wanted to do them and not being accountable to a God of the universe. There came a point about 3.5 years ago where I was in the midst of rapidly transforming my life, getting rid of a lot of things that were just bad for me in the long run, and I became more open to the idea of at least exploring God and faith, even though I didn't think I could ever buy into it. I was particularly interested in this idea of baptism as a way of kind of symbolically showing that I was ready to start my life new, and so I came to a church that was very open to questions. And I remember the very first day that I went there, I talked to the pastor there, and I asked him about this idea of getting baptized kind of as a symbolic way of showing that I'm ready to start life over. And he shot it down pretty quickly, and apparently you have to kind of accept Jesus in order to get baptized, otherwise you're just getting dunked underwater. So I was a little disgruntled about that, but I asked him, I'm like, well, I don't know if I could ever buy into this Christianity thing, but I like the idea, I like what you guys are preaching about, and I like the idea of thinking about God and even exploring it a little bit for at least an hour a week or something like that. So would you be okay if I just kept coming back and asking my questions and exploring this a little bit? And so he kind of fought back a smile, and he's just like, yeah, by all means. So I definitely still have questions, and I think it's one of those things that really keeps me looking more into it, keeps me researching more, keeps me pursuing God more fully with my heart. But I always thought that the more you looked into this, that it would just fall apart, that there was this idea of blind faith and so forth. But the more you look at the different pieces, the more you realize that the puzzle just fits together absolutely perfectly, that God's just been orchestrating a story from the very beginning of time till the very end of time. And I would encourage anybody out there to ask your questions and feel free to just anything that's on your mind about whether this is real or whether certain things happened in time, or whatever you're struggling with. God's not afraid of it, and there are good answers out there.